All right, as you heard in the feed today, Google officially unveiled the worst kept secret in recent history, the Nexus 1 smartphone. And we've got your Google 411 in the loop. Joining me all the way from San Francisco to help us make sense of it all, writer for TechCrunch.com, MG Siegler is here. How are you, MG?
Hey, good. How you doing, Kevin?
Doing very well. You know, Google had their big event today. You were there, blogging all about it. And then they had their Oprah moment. I don't know if you guys looked under your chairs or whatnot, but everybody left with one. So now you actually have the Nexus 1 in your, on your hands or in your person, or you've got it somewhere, right? You're happy about it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, very.
Yeah, there's oohs and ahs here. You don't seem too stoked over it. What's going on? All right, how do you feel about it?
Well, you know, kind of like you alluded to, everyone knew basically what was coming beforehand, and you know, that's basically what we got today. But it is, you know, it's a nice little device. It's by far the sexiest Android device I've ever seen. You know, I've played with a lot of the newer ones, the Droid, and all the way back to the G1, and this is by far the best one.
Right. Well, I mean, were there any surprises at all today, or were all the beans spilled, so to speak?
You know, the biggest surprise might be that they're actually going to be teaming up with Verizon to get this thing out there, you know, on that network in the spring. That's probably the biggest thing.
Now, the iPhone, of course, is all about the apps. Is the killer app with the launch of the Nexus 1, is it going to be 3D applications, or it seemed like they were really touting the 3D features of this device at the press conference?
Right. One of the things that they saved as, you know, one of the surprises was Google Earth running on this, and it's in full 3D. It runs just like the desktop application, and it looks very nice. But, you know, there's also Google Earth on the iPhone that also, you know, looks nice. So 3D, we'll have to see what, you know, third-party developers are able to do with it, and if they're able to make some better games to kind of rival the iPhone games. But as of right now, it's, you know, too early to tell, probably.
Do I need to wear a special helmet for being excited about this device or anything? Like, I feel like I really want to be jazzed about this, and everything I read and everybody I talk to says, well, it's got a voice keyboard. That's cool, kind of. You know, like, how about the voice keyboard, right? That's sweet.
That is pretty cool. You know, it doesn't work great. I was testing it earlier to try and send some tweets out, and it was kind of misinterpreting some of the things I was saying. But, you know, it's supposed to get better over time as you correct things and everything.
Can you
works decently.
Can you speak an ASCII penis into the device, and it will actually draw the 8 and all the equal signs, or no?
I haven't tried that, but
okay.
I really should.
Well, then clearly that needs to be in everybody's benchmark. All right, so voice keyboard will get better over time, hopefully. Right now, we're looking at a $530 phone unsubsidized.
Right.
Could you recommend that to anybody? What's the perk to actually buying unsubsidized other than not having a T-Mobile contract to break?
Yeah, I mean, if you're really against having a carrier contract, this might be your thing. But also, you know, if you're going to travel overseas, you know, this should work with a lot of the European carriers if you just pop in a SIM or whatnot. It will also work with AT&T, but it won't work with AT&T's 3G network. So that kind of makes that point moot, in my opinion. So.
Right. And plus, if you're looking to use AT&T, I guess you have an iPhone by this point. You weren't holding out for the Nexus 1. But let's talk about those people out there. Either you have an iPhone or you've been waiting to buy one. That's the million-dollar question. Should people go for the Nexus 1? Does it kill that iPhone yet?
You know, if you're still out there maybe using like a Motorola Razr or a StarTech phone or something, and you want something that's not the iPhone, maybe this is something to get. You know, it's hard to come at it after using an iPhone, as I've been, you know, for the past 3 years. You got to get used to all the new, you know, Android different apps and everything, and you're used to your iPhone apps. So, but if you're coming at it completely blank slate and you like the idea of having Google Voice and different things tightly integrated within the device, then it certainly could be worth it for you. So
you're saying the suitcase car phone in my '83 LeSabre should probably get rid of that and go for the Nexus 1.
That would probably beat it.
Okay, good. Now, what about the buying experience? I know Google's trying to do something different. A friend of mine was so excited that they announced this today and asked me, where can I go get one? I said, well, I sent him a URL. And he said, what? I have to go to a website? Right. I can't get this in stores? What's Google doing with getting rid of the conventional brick-and-mortar approach?
Well, you know, they kind of played it up today that when you used to go buy a camera, you used to go do that in a store, you used to go to Best Buy. Now you do a lot of that online. They're thinking that, you know, the cell phone industry is going to move the same way. You know, everyone now pretty much has a cell phone, and that will become even more ubiquitous, and there'll be all these different kinds of phones that probably one of your friends has. So if you want to actually know what you want to get, you've probably seen it from them, and you've gotten a recommendation from them. So then you just go online, and they have a nice little experience. You can do, you know, 3D views of the thing and everything. So that's their idea.
MG, the amount of excitement you have for this device, I feel guilty from keeping you from it. I want to let you get back to it as soon as possible, but I do have to ask, is the Nexus 1, is that going to be your primary device? Will you switch from what you currently use, or is it just going to be yet another phone in your arsenal?
You know, I'll give it a shot for a little bit and see if I can get used to using it, you know, against the iPhone, which of course I'm used to using. But then again, we got a new iPhone, I'm sure, coming in June. Right. So it'll be short-lived, if anything. All
right. Well, do me a favor. Do the ASCII penis test on Twitter so I can see if it does, in fact, draw a nice digital wang for me, please.
Will do.
All right. Thanks to TechCrunch's MG Siegler for keeping us in the loop.